Welcome to the final chapter for Business 123 Introduction to Investments. We are so proud and grateful and honored and privileged that you have made it this far. Congratulations! Because now we're going to take a look at the ultimate investment, starting a business. Look, folks, it's definitely not for everyone, that's for sure. It's definitely not for everyone. It is the most lucrative, potentially, investment, but it's also one of the most uh, riskiest and just exhausting and emotionally draining and financially draining and physically draining. So let's get started. On slide number 2. The most profitable investment anyone can make is starting a business. And it's also one of the most riskiest investments anyone can make. I'm sure you've heard the statistics. 50% of businesses fail in the first year. 80% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. 100% of businesses fail in the first 10,000 years. Look, folks, the truth is that no one knows the failure rate of small businesses because no one, not even the IRS, although they're supposed to, knows how many small businesses there are. Another truth is that many small business owners will often fail 2 or 3 times until they succeed. Yes, you will talk to people in business and they will often tell you that there's no way they could work for somebody else. There's no way they could be an employee. It just was out of the question. They had to start their own business. And the eerie, crazy thing is, it runs in families. Maybe it's something in the gene, or is it nurture or nature? We don't know. But it is so typical that if the person is in business, you talk to them and their uncle or their parents or whatever, their brothers, they're in business also. So it seems to be a cultural thing. It might even be a genetic thing. I don't know. And I don't think it matters. And that doesn't mean if no one in your family has their own business that you shouldn't start a business. That's not the case at all. The case is, do you have something to offer to the world? And there's the old saying of the dump truck driving around with a sign on this side saying, "Find a need and fill it." Whatever you decide, if you decide to get involved in business, realize that you are not alone. There is an entire there are armies of folks out there who want you to succeed. Why? It's very simple. Small businesses are the backbone of the economy. We hear all about the big companies, and of course, they're the companies that we can invest in. But every big company was once a small company. And I forget the exact statistic, but the bulk of the economy is small business. So here are a few groups that want you to succeed. One of the most storied, and it's been around for, I don't know, 60, 70 years, is SCORE, Service Corps of Retired Executives. I don't think they call themselves that anymore. They just call they call themselves SCORE. And these people are cool. I haven't been to one of their seminars in a long time, but I used to go often. And what they'll do is they'll try to scare you. They'll say, "Boo, you're going to fail, you're going to fail, you're going to fail." And then if you're still around after they do that, they say, "Okay, let's get to work." So check out their seminars and the like. Kiva is a peer-to-peer lending organization. So it will help you with the funds necessary to get started. Although it's more, as I noticed, it's more geared toward raising the funds. So they're actually, when you go to their website, they're more trying to get you to be one of the lenders. Accessity used to be Axion San Diego, which I was involved with a long time ago. Then they disappeared and they came back. Now it's called Accessity. Be careful. AxionSanDiego.com looks like a scam. So be careful which website you go to. And then at Southwestern's National City campus is a phenomenal resource. It's federal money, but it's run by local organizations, and we happen to be the South San Diego Small Business Development Center. There's a North San Diego also, I think, in Miracosta Community College. So check us out. And again, it's all, I used to go just because I used to love being around all these people who are interested in or are already in business, because it's just it's exciting. It's contagious, the excitement and the energy, just being around people who are doing it. And of course, some of them are going to fail and some of them are going to succeed, and you often learn from people who have learned the hard way. And then don't forget that Southwestern Community College has many resources available. The Business 120 Introduction to Investment class. Introduction to Business class. Business 123 is our class. The Business 145 class. We don't offer it that much. It's a 1-unit class, but it's tremendous. It's called Financial Plan Management for Small Business, I think. And I'm exactly sure. I haven't taught it since 2009, but it's a wonderful class because it teaches you how to keep your nose clean, right? Because I can't tell you how many, not that many, because I didn't teach it that many times, but it was several people who came to this class really not knowing anything about what they were supposed to be doing as a business owner. They hadn't filed a business, doing business as a DBA. They didn't file a DBA for the name of the business. They didn't have a checking account. They did everything out of their pocket. They didn't really record anything. Everything was basically cash. And, that's not what you're supposed to do. That's why you'll learn in Business 120, 145, the minimum to keep your nose clean. And then also another great class to take, although it's not fun, is Business 140, business law, which is, again, keeping your nose clean, contracts and the like. So don't go it alone. There are tremendous resources available to small business owners. And one piece of advice that, for what it's worth, franchises. Franchises get a bad name often, and for some good reason. There are some really horrible franchises. One of them is Subway, who treat their franchisees really horribly. But then there are the gold standards of franchises like 7-Eleven and McDonald's. Of course, McDonald's, you need a ton of money to get involved, and it takes years. Where 7-Eleven is not that difficult to get involved in their system. And these people want you to succeed. Maybe not Subway, but the others, because if you succeed, they succeed. And it turns out that if you get involved in a franchise, you won't make as much money if you had done it all on your own. But the chances of you succeeding are a whole lot better. The chances of you being around in business 5 years from now are a whole lot better than if you did it alone. Another way to get involved is to work for a company as a manager, work your way up as a manager with the idea. And you can tell them, tell them that you're interested in getting involved in this business. I eventually want to have my own coffee shop or my own restaurant or my own cleaning service or whatever. And a lot of these business owners are getting old there, folks, and they're looking to retire, and they want to eventually sell their business. Maybe the kids want nothing to do with it. And so you could work your way into a business that way. This is especially true of insurance companies and brokerage firms and the like, because there's an awful lot of insurance agents and brokers and not so much in the banking system, but in the mortgage brokers, again, that's a whole other world. But eventually they're going to want to either pass it on to their kids, who might not want anything to do with it, or sell it to somebody like you. So you learn the ropes, learn what it's like to open up a florist shop. There's a wonderful example of a woman who loved flowers, and all she wanted to do eventually was to start a flower shop, and she spent her whole life savings Turned out she couldn't be around flowers 8 hours, 12 hours a day. She was allergic to them. It was okay. A simple bouquet at home was fine, but being around flowers, yeah, don't learn that way. Get involved in the business first. And that's, there are lots of things that you'll learn just by being around business people and taking these classes. And that's it, dear students. We're finished. We're done. And I often like to start at the ending and end at the beginning. And so if you go back to the very first slide that we looked at this perspective. It is a gloomy moment in history. Never has the future seemed so dark and incalculable. The United States is beset with racial, industrial, and commercial chaos, drifting we know not where. Of our troubles, no one can see the end. And when was this? 1847. And we've been doing pretty darn well for the most part, since then. And so I want to leave you with a different perspective. It is a fortunate moment in history. Never has the future seemed so bright and promising. The United States is the most racially diverse, industrially strong, commercially prosperous nation in the history of the world. Of our continued success, no one can see the end. Now, who said this, right? Me. Now, because I really am optimistic about the economic future of our country. And we have tremendous problems, yes. I'm much more worried about social and political issues and that, that our original sin of racism is killing us. It's tearing us apart. White supremacy and the like. And it really, that saddens me. But as far as investments, okay. And using the tools that you've learned in this class, and the world doesn't end, you should be able to build considerable wealth over your working years. Thank you. I don't know how I can put it into words, but I'm the luckiest guy in the world for having the privilege of teaching you this class. If you use the techniques that we learned in this class, and of course you're going to learn more as you go along because there are dozens more, you won't build wealth very quickly, you won't get rich quickly, but you will get rich unless the world ends or unless we blow ourselves up, die in our own waste, meteorite, tsunami, disco returning. I'm optimistic, and I'm old. Usually, old people get pessimistic. There's some things I am pessimistic about, as I've already mentioned them. But economically, no, I think we're going to do well. We'll see. Come back in 30 years. I'll probably be dead, but you'll be on your way toward a comfortable economic situation. You know how I'm going to end, right? No matter what you do in this life, don't give up. Never give up, dear students. We wish you the best of luck and success. And keep in touch, huh? Thank you so very much, students. All of us at Southwestern are proud, honored, privileged, and grateful that you've been with us.